The last year or so, I have found myself going back and playing older games and being more excited about mods and overhauls for older games than I have really for a lot of releases that have been coming out recently. In fact, the last time I was really excited for anything that came out in the AAA industry was Cyberpunk 2077 back in 2020. Now, I got this game on PC, so I didn't have to deal with any, like, really horrible, terrible bugs that the poor last-gen versions had to experience. Believe me, there's actually some recent videos that have come out that showcase, the day one build again, asking, was it really that bad? And, yeah, it was. A little spoiler alert there, but it was. So, but otherwise, I haven't really pre-ordered or really checked back and bought a new game since that fateful end of 2020. And, I sit and wonder why that is. I mean, I know the reason why, and I don't regret my purchase of Cyberpunk. It's the last time I'll ever pre-order a game. And then the next release I could say is maybe Elden Ring, but I had to be kind of swooned in over for that. So, really, Cyberpunk is the last time I've been, like, truly excited for a game release. And, it begs the question is, why do I feel this way? And then I look at the reasons why I'm going back and playing older games, and then I see I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people posting videos about them going back and playing older games, and even people talking about it, to even, like, some gaming channels that I follow for the news even say, I'm just going back in my backlog and playing some older retro kind of games that I didn't get a chance to play when I was younger, or vice versa. So, I guess that begs the next question is it nostalgia why people are going back and playing these older games? Like, is there a sort of hidden niche kind of thing that these older games have that the newer ones just don't seem to have, or fill that sort of void? Partially, maybe. But then again, a lot of these people go back and play these old retro kind of games that don't even have any nostalgia towards them. So the real question lies in the devil in the details, rather. And, on a different note, I went back in about 2 years ago now. I went back and played the Dark Souls trilogy for the first time on and off back in, like, middle of 2023. And a year later, I revisited Dark Souls 2, and I got this weird nostalgia feeling. And I still get that to this day when I play that game. It's just so weird. So maybe there is some truth to that in it being nostalgia because of the art style and direction, because it takes you back to a simpler time. I don't know. There could be a lot of different reasons as to why people go back. But I think the blunt and truthful and honest answer is no, it's not really nostalgia. It's because, let's be honest, a lot of new games coming out, they ain't really that good. They're kind of shit. And, I mean, you have to look no further than a lot of the recent releases we've had. Now, I know Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 has actually had a moderate release, but let's take a look at some other nasty examples. Like, Avowed right now, at least with some of the reviewers I watch, isn't really doing too well right now, just because a lot of them say it doesn't have a lot of depth, and it looks pretty, but there's just not much there to kind of keep you going. I mean, then you got Concord. Oof. I don't think we need to talk about that mess. Then you got Dustborn, which, what the heck was that? I mean, even Dragon Age the Veilguard that came out recently, that, like, a beloved franchise that had, like, a dark, sort of mythological setting in a fantasy world, is now this weird Tumblr post mismatch of a game. I mean, then you got, I could keep going on and on, like Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which, that's a video out of itself about live service games. I mean, you have all these games coming out that are just, they're just not up to snuff. They're not doing too hot. And, I guess you could kind of see the argument why people aren't really wanting to play the newer stuff, because the older stuff seems to be much better compared to the newer stuff. I mean, there's no, like, sense of excitement or good fulfillment that these new games are providing. I mean, we're still getting some good ones, like Kingdom Come Deliverance seems to be doing well for the most part, I'd say. But really, to, like, recent memory, at least in this year alone, there hasn't really been some bangers that at least stood out to me. Maybe I'm missing some, but, I mean, this industry is so vast, I can't know everything. I just know the ones that make the headlines that are really badly. There's no good highlighting of the good ones, because I remember back in the day, there was just bangers after bangers, and the only thing stopping me was I couldn't play them because I wasn't old enough, or I had to kind of find a way to buy it and then sneak it so that my mother wouldn't find out. That kind of thing. But it does beg that question, and probably the more logical reason as to why people are going and playing older stuff. There's just something that the newer stuff just doesn't provide that really the old one has. I mean, then you can even talk about the microtransaction in some of these single-player games, too. It's just ridiculous. It's like there's no games coming out with a complete package. I mean, then you even have games, too, and I just remembered this one, Stalker 2. I want to play this game. But my God, even with the patch that came out, like, what, 2 days ago, as I'm recording this, it still doesn't have the entire A-Life package, and it still runs like garbage. I mean, it's a step in the right direction, but it's like, I'm not going to go shell out money for this right now for a broken, kind of messy release. I mean, I went and played the old Stalker trilogy for the first time, and then at some point I'll go and start playing some of the other mods and all that, because it's going to be a hot minute until this game's ready to go for me to try it. And I'm fine with the wait, because if anything, it'll be on sale and some of the DLC will come out. But no, I think, at least when you look at the board like this, it's like, yeah, there's just not a lot of good stuff coming out that makes people want to rush to play it. I mean, and I even thought of another one, Marvel Rivals, excuse me, seems to be doing pretty good. Though I'm just not really into those kind of hero shooters much anymore. You know, I know that I've played Black Ops 4, that's technically a hero shooter, but that's a little bit different. It's because, I mean, it's Call of Duty. You can never go wrong with Call of Duty. I mean, let's even add that into the mix. Look at Black Ops 6. It looks how terrible that game's doing right now. I mean, fans are saying that this is probably the worst Call of Duty they've gotten because of how horrible and buggy it's been, and there's been, like, lack of transparency and communication with that game. So, I mean, the whole industry is kind of in this weird topsy-turvy, and I've noticed for a couple of years it's been going down this route, but I think, like, even the normal people are kind of being like, something's got to change here. So no, I don't think it's nostalgia why people are going back and playing older games. I think for a good majority of it, the older games are more fun, in a sense, because they feel not only complete, but you get them for less money because they're on discounts or sales. And you feel like you can put the game in, either be disc on a PS3, maybe even a PS4 or PS2. You don't have to worry about no updates, or on PC, you can just download the whole thing with all the updates ready to go from there. I mean, the possibilities are endless. I mean, I've even found myself more excited about mods for games. Like, one of the ones I'm still excited about, since the Battlefield franchise at this point is down the gutter, and, you know, Delta Force I thought was going to be a nice competitor for Battlefield, but it looks like that's gone off the deep end for a variety of reasons. But I'm more excited about a mod called Warsaw Revamped, which is mods for Battlefield 4, than I am excited about the newest Battlefield. So really, yeah, there's a whole turmoil happening in this industry that really, I think, is justified why people are going back again and playing older games too. So don't feel like it's nostalgia why you want to go back and play older games. I think just a good chunk of games coming out aren't just that good or fun. And, you know, what needs to change is really the AAA industry, and everything else needs to just start improving. And eventually maybe we could start getting back to those good releases. Or, as I said in my one of my previous videos, the industry is evolving. It's not dying, it's just evolving into different things, and the indie scene is probably where it's going to be at for a minute. And I say that's for the better and honestly for good, because, again, go check out my Gaming Isn't Dying, It's Evolving video to hear more about this. But you can just feel that, like, the indie scene seems to be going back to that older games mentality. Whereas the AAA space is going into God knows what they're going into. But, you know, what needs to change is simple. Just the trends of the AAA field are following. They got to stop that and pivot back to what made gaming fun and enjoyable. And no, I do not think GTA 6 is going to do any better, because if you saw the recent article, they want to charge $100 for this game, which I wasn't going to buy this game already, because I was, one, going to wait for the PC release, and two, I was going to wait till this goes on at least a 50% off. But now it's just like, this is just, it just seems like it's just really going to get a little bit worse in the AAA space. But anyway, that's all I have for today's video. Feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more videos from me, and leave a comment down below if you have any ideas or have any questions or want to discuss about any topics. And also hit that notification bell, just because I'm doing a little experimenting where I want to find the perfect sweet spot area to post my videos, because at least with how I post these videos, I schedule them out. Right now, as I'm posting this, or it's going to be scheduled, is going to be 3 p.m. Central Time. So if there's a time zone or a time rather that you prefer that my videos go live, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just basically posting these videos an hour each, so it's going up 3 p.m. today, but then Tuesday's video might go up 4 p.m. my time, Central Time, and so on and so forth, until I kind of see like the peak of when people are watching videos that works for my channel. If that hopefully makes sense, because I know every channel is different. But at least for me, I'm just trying to see, just to gauge as much viewership and attention I can get. Since as I'm doing more of this channel and working on it, I'm just, learning new things and just wanting to grow and make this channel the most efficient and successful it can be. So anyway, once again, I'll see you guys Tuesday.